All right, peace be upon you, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Now, in today's video, I just want to speak about the single thing that has thrown me over the edge regarding the mosques that exist today, the Sunni mosques, and why I don't attend, why I am Muslim in the true sense of the word, not a cultural Muslim, but one who submits to God and follows the Quran, why I don't have any interest in the mosques. And I made videos to this effect in the past. I've made videos like this talking about some of the biggest failures of the mosques, why they don't have any authority anymore, and I'll be touching on some of those points now. Also, there's a video of mine which got quite a few views, at least for my censored channel, which is titled Why Sunnis and Shias Are Going to Hell, They Never Were Muslim. But I want to highlight one of those points because I don't think it can be magnified enough, that shows just how problematic the religious institutions are today, and specifically the mosques, the religious institutions that claim to have a monopoly over the Quran. So what is the single thing that makes me convinced, or convinces me, that I cannot be a part of this institution? Because believe me, I am a man of patience. I understand that institutions can't be perfect. Institutions are run, obviously, by people, and people make mistakes, they fall short. And if, let's say there existed some mosques, some Quran-alone mosque, and let's say there was a Quran-alone leader, like, I don't know, I'll just say it randomly, like Brother Sam Garens. Let's say he was the imam of that mosque. I don't know if he would accept such a role, but just as an example for your mind. And let's say Brother Sam Garens, he taught something that wasn't correct. Now, that fact in and of itself is not enough to make me abandon the institution, say, oh, we need a new institution, I need to find something new. And no. I'm a loyal man, and I understand that there are certain errors which are minor, and they don't warrant you leaving the institution, but rather praying to God to guide the people. If you see the people are erring on a little bit of an issue, pray to God to guide them, pray to God to guide the imam. Have patience with them. And I understand that that has to be the case with any institution. There's always going to be mistakes. If I had an institution, let's say I was the imam of a mosque and you guys attended it, I would hope at least that you guys wouldn't. I think maybe a lot of you would, because this kind of mentality of just ditching people as soon as they slightly disagree with you, it's very common on the internet. But I would hope that if I made a doctrinal error, that you guys wouldn't leave me on that basis. Or even if I just, let's say you tried to explain it to me and I didn't quite understand what you were saying, and I made that minor error, I hope that you wouldn't leave that mosque as well. Because really, you have to ask yourself, is the institution following the same faith as me fundamentally? Are we on the same track despite slight disagreements? And with people like Brother Sam, with me, I can say yes, 100%, despite the disagreements. Like, for example, I don't see, he translates the word jinn in certain areas as domina, and he seems to imply human rulers in certain parts of the Quran, and I don't see that. I think it purely refers to these unseen entities known as jinn. But, kind of putting all that aside, what is the single thing that has thrown me off regarding the mosque today, where whenever I think to myself, Walid, should I become a part of it? Should I join it? Should I try to reform the institution within? Should I be patient with these people just as I would like them to be patient with me? Do they have shortcomings just in the same way I have shortcomings? What makes me leave it altogether? The thing that throws me over is when I go in, when I walk into those mosques, and it makes me not an attender anymore, but a protester, realizing that I have to make a new institution altogether rather than join this one, is when I walk in the mosque, I see Muhammad's name written all over the walls and the pillars. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. I can see shirk with my own eyes and identify. That is shirk. That is idolatry. Where in the Holy Quran, and even in the Hadith, and I reject Hadith, but where in the Quran, first and foremost, most important, but even in the Hadith, is there any command to write a human name all over the walls of our institution of worship, which is supposed to be dedicated to God alone? And also, the main mosque that these people bow towards in Mecca has Muhammad's name written all over it, literally partnered with God. Muhammad's name is written alongside God in their Shahada, it's all over. Where do you get this command from at all? That is shirk. That is ascribing a partnership, and it is that reason, or that undeniable fact, that makes me think I got to do something new. I can't be a part of this anymore. These people are not following the same trajectory that I'm going to. I'm going towards the oneness of God, and these people are going towards a partner with the Almighty. Hence why they write the name of this man all over the wall. Not saying I don't respect the messenger. I love the messenger. I care for him. But he's only a human being. He was a Rasul. He was not to be worshipped. He's not to be written all over the walls of our institutions. He's not to be mentioned in our prayer. No way. This is blasphemy and shirk to the highest degree. And the fact that the shirk has been applied towards the Holy Quran, a message which teaches uncompromised monotheism, the worship of one God alone, that people associate this shirk with the Quran is a tragedy, and these people will pay dearly for it in the hereafter, those who promote this kind of thing. So that's really the thing that has made me estranged to the mosque and realize that I can't be a part of it. And that's why I'm outside with signs protesting these people rather than joining and trying to reform within. Because again, I understand that people make mistakes and that's okay. But you just have to ask yourself, are they going in the same direction that I am fundamentally regarding their deen? Are they on the same deen or doctrine as me? And these people are not. And then obviously when you study deeper, you look into these things more, you realize that they're not really about following the Quran in and of itself as a book, but they're more interested in a cultural movement. These people, the Sunnis and Shias or whatever, they think that the messenger came and the primary purpose of the Quran is to build a religion in the sense of like, okay, so Christians have their religion, their cultural religion, and Jews have their cultural religion. And Muhammad came with the Quran that God gave him, and the purpose of that was to kind of build a cultural religion competing with those. So they have their Christianity, the others, they have their Yehudism, Judaism, and now we have our Islam, this cultural movement, which is going to be associated with Arabian clothing and Arabian beard styles and Arabian fragrances and oud and all this Arabian Persian hadith, and that's what they think the message was primarily, that it's about competing against those religions with our own cultural religion. And despite the mosque teaching that, I don't see that in the Quran at all. That's not what it's teaching. The Quran is teaching us to be faithful and devoutly dutiful to God alone. It's not creating a cultural ethnic movement. It's teaching us to be accountable before our Creator. That is the fundamental essence of the Quranic message. And this is utterly missed by even not only the Sunni mosques, but some of their greatest proselytizers. You look at these Sunni, Shia debaters online, Muhammad Hijab, Ali Dawah, these big Dawah channels. Are they fundamentally interested in the Quran as a message in and of itself, as guidance from God that can purify our souls and bring us closer to our Creator? No. Look at their videos. They are interested in a cultural movement which is known as Islam. Oh, some U.S. senator, some white U.S. senator said some horrible thing about the Muslims, the Muslims. He said some racist or bad comment or whatever. Oh, how terrible. Oh, look at what's going on with Palestine. The Muslims, we need to band together. Oh, the Muslims this, the Muslims that. Oh, a Muslim country, a Muslim people. These people need to accept Islam. They're talking about a political, cultural movement and its position on the world stage, not the Quran as a guidance in and of itself. They're talking about a cultural movement. You can see it very clearly. That is what they mean by Islam, and that is what the mosques are promoting and standing for. A cultural tradition and movement, not the Quran as guidance in and of itself. So it's these things that, unfortunately, I would love to. I don't like this. It's difficult, but I'll do it if my Lord requires me to do it. If I live in such a dark age, an age of Jahiliyyah, and I need to start something from the ground up, a grassroots movement, by my Lord, I will do it. But it's not my desire. That's very difficult. Obviously, one would rather join something that was already started by somebody before and to grow within it and have that build you up. But I can't because of the blasphemy, the shirk, and just the fact that it's very clear that they're pushing a culture as opposed to the Quran as a message. So it's these issues that have brought me to the point of not reformation, but revolution. Because institutions, when they slightly lose their way here and there, okay, you can reform them within, but when the foundations of what they're supposed to be founded on, or the foundations of what they're supposed to stand upon, are corrupted inside and out, which is the case, which is what I see with the Sunni, Shia, the mosques that are set up today, save for very, very select few examples. When that happens, then you're not a reformer anymore. You're a revolutionist or a revolutionary, and that's what I am. I am a Quran alone revolutionary, and really, I'm not bringing anything new. When I use that tongue-in-cheek, that word, when I say, oh, I need to establish something new, it's not really new. It's the oldest thing. They're bringing the new stuff with all their hadith, when in the beginning, all the messenger and the people had was the Quran. And that's just what I'm calling people towards. So, yeah, it's a revolution back to what has always been the truth and always been rightfully established since the beginning. That's what I'm going for. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's really all I got to say on the matter. I hope this talk was a blessing. And yeah, peace to you. Remember, deceit abounds, so keep your eyes wide open. Peace out.